ready to rush. Like, look at all the people already starting to line up.
The University of Alabama is the top sorority recruitment in all of the country.
Rush consists of 4 highly competitive rounds.
Let's be honest, I probably would not be going to Alabama if it did not blow up on TikTok.
I'm nervited, which is like nervous and excited.
It's way more dramatic than you're thinking it is.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Golden Topics with Zay, and here's what's happening in today's episode.
Hi, okay, I feel like the easiest way to explain what Rush is it's like the week where it's like girls are trying out for a sorority. Like the new girls, which are like PNMs, which are potential new members, are trying to figure out what house they want to go to, as well as like the houses are trying to figure out who they want in their house. And so it's like a week-long thing, and you go to all the houses. Like the first 2 days are open house, and you go to every single house. And it's like a quick 20-minute thing, so you don't get to be in the house that long, and you don't get to talk to the girls that long. And so then after those, like those are split into 2 days normally. And so like at Oklahoma, there are 11 houses, and so you do like 5 one day and 6 the second day. And then after those first 2 days, you narrow it down from 11 houses to 8. So you like have to like rank your houses, I guess. And then the houses also rank the girls that they want. And so they kind of like compare the list, and then you get the next round, which is the next day, you get max of 8 houses. And then it's the same thing. It goes 8, 5, 2, which is pref night. And then on that night, you rank your houses 1 and 2. And then bid day, you obviously get the house that you have a bid for, which you probably have seen in the videos. It's like everyone like running home. I feel like that's the best way to explain it. But work week is the week before, which is where the girls that are like the active members or like the current members of the sorority like prepare for Rush and like do everything needed before Rush. And so there's like dress up days and like all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I feel like that's the best way to explain it. Oklahoma's work week starts next week, so I will make sure to keep y'all posted, and I'll like film our outfits, so hopefully that helped. Rush is kind of confusing.
Let's chat about Rush. Hi, my name is Madison. I am a rising 3rd year at the University of Georgia, and I rushed in the fall of 21. I know that this video is probably not going to reach a whole lot of people, but I wanted to make it anyways, because if I can just help one girl, that would make me so happy. Because in fall of 21, I was that one girl, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what Rush was, and I just really needed some help. And whenever I say lost, like, I mean lost. I didn't even know what a Rush bag was. So, with that being said, I just wanted to take some time today and just kind of talk about what Rush is. I figured I could make like little parts to it, like about each round, what to wear, your Rush bag, everything, just to kind of talk about it some more. So Rush is pretty much just a process that's run by Panhellenic, and you go through rounds and you talk to different girls at different houses, different sororities, and you find out where you fit best. So the first round is sisterhood, and at UGA this one is online, so you watch videos of all the sororities, and then they watch videos of you, kind of just talking about yourself, your hobbies, just getting to know you a little bit more. The second round is philanthropy, and this one's one of my favorites because you get to kind of see what your sorority stands for and what you raise money for, and different philanthropy events that they hold throughout the year, and it's just a great way to kind of get to know your potential sisters just a little bit better. The third round is house tours, and this one's super fun because you get to kind of take a peek at the house, like more on the inside rather than just on the outside, because obviously whenever you're driving down, say, Millage or Sorority Row, whatever you have at your school, you kind of just see the outside, so it's really cool to see like rooms and like the chapter room, all the things, and I loved it. And lastly, your last round that you'll go to is pref, and you'll only go to 2 houses, so it's super important. You'll make your last observations to make your final decision about where you want to end up on bid day. And lastly, bid day, the best day of the week, the one day you're looking forward to throughout this whole process from registration to pref. Like, you're just looking forward to it the whole time, and you end up where you're supposed to be, and it is such a blessing, and it's so much fun, and you're gonna think that everything that you went through during Rush is so worth it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I know it's probably not going to reach a whole lot of people, but that's okay. If you are that one girl that just kind of has no idea where to start or just really doesn't know what Rush is, but you're interested in it, that was me. And I love where I ended up. I love my sorority. It is such a blessing and I wouldn't change a thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed and thanks for watching.
What is a sorority and why the F would you want to join one? Let's talk about it. Put it as simply as possible, a sorority is literally just a club. You pay dues, you have meetings, you throw events, it's just a big club. The difference honestly comes down to the fact that sororities are one, pretty expensive, or at least they have a reputation, and two, they're sort of a club that does a little bit of everything. And a third thing is that they do have sort of a lot of rules you have to follow. When I say sororities are expensive, they can be anywhere from $100 a semester to like $1,000 a semester. Depends on where you go to school and what sorority you're joining. Those are things that if you decide to go through Rush, they will tell you before you actually have to join the sorority, or at least they should. Whether or not you should join one is kind of up to a personal opinion. Definitely fits some people's personalities better than others. I will say one huge benefit to joining a sorority is that one club sort of satisfies all of your needs. As far as dues go, I was my sorority's treasurer, so I can break that down for you guys if you want to know what you actually pay when you pay for sorority dues. Let me know if you guys want to hear more about sororities or other questions you have regarding college.
Things they don't tell you about being in a sorority. Seems that I ruffled some feathers. People graduate, they're gonna unfollow you on Instagram. People worry that like they're not gonna have a social life and they're not gonna have friends if they're not in a sorority. I promise you, you're gonna have just as much to do whether you're in one or not. Just because they're your big doesn't mean that they're gonna like be your best friend. Could not eat at the house. I have so many dietary restrictions and allergies I couldn't eat. I think I lost like 10 pounds. All I was eating was like quinoa. In the dining room, there were certain tables for certain friend groups. Like it's cliquey inside of a clique. This one table had all the popular girls and you couldn't sit with them. Like if you did, it was weird. Like they're not gonna like sit and talk about all their shit when like someone from outside their friend group sitting there. It felt like I was back in high school. On the weekends you have set plans with frats. They tell us like you have to go here first, stay there till 12, and then you can do whatever you want. Obviously this isn't the case for everybody. This was just my experience. People end up loving their sorority. Like I always encourage people to go through Rush because maybe you'll have a different experience than I did.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the rules you will probably be asked to follow in a sorority. To start off, I haven't been in my sorority for that long, probably like a month, but these rules are really not hard to follow at all. So the first rule is that you need to maintain, I can't remember if it's a 2.5 GPA or a 2.75, but you do have to maintain good grades, so you can't just only have fun in college. I feel like a 2.5 is a pretty reasonable GPA to maintain, so it shouldn't be too much of a challenge for anyone. But if it is a challenge for you, they do offer tutoring, so they do not want you to fail. Your sorority will help you out. All of these next rules revolve around drinking. Number one, never, ever drink in letters. Anywhere, ever, never do it. I would say that's probably like the main rule, so never drink in letters ever. The next drinking rule is if you're under 21, you cannot post pictures with alcohol or anything that's going to hint at the idea of alcohol. For example, like a red Solo cup, a wine glass, champagne flute. Even if it might not have alcohol in it, you can't post it because it will hint that you're drinking alcohol. Also, if you're not 21, you cannot drink at any like sorority events, specifically date parties. You cannot drink there. Also, if you're living in the sorority house, not everyone has to, but if you are, well, at least for my sorority in my college, but if you are living in the house, you cannot have drugs, alcohol, or anything of that sort on the house property. Like, that's a big no-no. Also, for the house girls, there are no men allowed upstairs in the rooms. They can come into the main rooms downstairs, like the common areas, but no males upstairs. All members have to do a certain amount of volunteering, probably for their philanthropy, so yeah, you need to meet all those required hours for that. Also, everyone is required to attend chapter, and you get 3 absences, and if you exceed those 3 absences, you will be fined. Yes, they can fine you. And if you break any of those other rules, you will be called into a standards meeting, which I don't really know much about that, but I know it's not good. So basically just follow the rules, pay your dues, and you won't have to pay fines or go to a standards meeting. And that's it. The rules really aren't hard to follow. So anyway, I hope this helped. Bye.
One of my biggest pet peeves when I tell someone that I'm in a sorority is them saying, oh, so you pay for your friends? So let's talk about what the money you pay in your sorority is and what it actually goes towards. So when you choose to join a sorority, there's going to be a certain amount of money that you're going to have to pay per like semester or year, and this is called dues. And dues can range depending on like what chapter you're in or what school you're in a sorority at. Like I know at my school dues range between like $200 to $600 a semester, but there are schools where dues are around like $2,000 a semester. So it just kind of depends where you're at. And I feel like what people want to know is why are dues so much more expensive at some schools and some chapters than others? And that's because this money is what is used to fund your entire chapter. So when you're paying dues, let's say there's sisterhood events that you want to go to. It could be Build-A-Bear, dyeing a sweatshirt, things like that. The money in your dues is what pays for these things. And some sororities will have crazy things like big retreats where they go away to like nice cabins and things like that. And they have ice trucks come and ice cream and coffee, and like that will result in having more expensive dues because you're doing more expensive things throughout the year. And I think this can definitely be a concern for some people because a lot of times like if you're just not paying your dues, that can result in like termination or not being able to go to certain events and things like that. But people also need to remember that if something happens and you can't work or you can't do something and there's a point where you can't afford these dues, I feel like if you go to your chapter and talk to people, there's ways around this and you're not just going to get kicked out because you're going through a hard financial time. At the end of the day, people are still going to keep saying, well, oh, you're in a sorority, you're paying for your friends, but the things we do in sororities are not free, and that's what our money's going to. But if you want to say I'm paying for my friends, go ahead.
Bama Rush is ruining sorority life. I'm gonna be a senior in my sorority, and I want to preface by saying I 100% recommend joining one. During my 4 years in my sorority, I noticed something that's happening in Panhellenic communities all over the country. And it's that the number of women that are registering to join a sorority is dipping basically every year. Sure, it could be the fact that less girls are just interested in sorority life. It could be the fact that less people are going to college in general. But my gut feeling points to how sorority life is represented through TikTok. Don't get me wrong, I love watching everyone going through Bama Rush or SMU, but I feel like what we're seeing on TikTok 100% misrepresents sororities in the rest of the country. And this is absolutely zero slander to schools like that. But when you think Bama Rush talk, you think girls that are rich, pretty, skinny, blonde, and have very preppy kind of aesthetics and styles. And my hypothesis is girls that are going into college are seeing those videos and thinking that that is only what sorority life is like. And again, I mean absolutely no hate to girls that are like that or Bama Rush in general, because I love it and I love watching you guys. But I can 100% confidently say that at least at Iowa State University, that is not what recruitment looks like at all. I was really scared going into recruitment based on Bama Rush. During welcome weekend of my recruitment, I was absolutely blown away by the type of women and sororities I was meeting. There is quite literally a sorority for every single type of person you can think of. And so girls who don't really maybe identify themselves as what we're seeing on TikTok think that they can't join a sorority. And the reason I'm putting Bama Rush talk to blame for this is because numbers started dipping in everyone's community kind of when Bama Rush became a thing. So if you're watching this and you're going into college, I 100% recommend at least trying sorority recruitment. Worst thing that happens is you don't like it and you drop. And if that's going to be the case for you, I've met multiple people that have dropped sorority recruitment but have made friends through sorority recruitment. And this is not me promoting dropping a sorority, but I'm just trying to get my point across that you should just try it. Registration for sorority recruitment in most schools is probably closing soon, and this is your sign to just sign up, try it, and if you hate it, you can blame me and just drop it. But I'm putting my chances on that you're gonna meet people that you like, and you're gonna be glad that you went through it. But while I'm finishing up my makeup, just a few reasons why I recommend joining a sorority. Besides the fact that you want to have a sisterhood and friendship, because that's obviously a given, but I've had numerous opportunities from just being in a sorority. I've had multiple leadership opportunities to put on my resume and help get me jobs and internships. I've met people outside of my sorority just to build my network, and it taught me how to be a better communicator and crack me out of my shell. But thanks for watching, and I hope you sign up for recruitment.
Well, that's all for today's episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.